Bad news for Teofimo Lopez. After recently proclaiming that he is the A-side, Bob Arum has done some interviews and says he doesn't care if Teofimo's next fight goes to a purse bid because he's going to get chipped out and he's going to get a percentage either way. Stay tuned for that topic and more in this very video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, y'all know what to do. Bell notification icon. I drop hottest content, daily content. Let's go. Now, Teofimo, you know, he just beat Lomachenko in October, and his demeanor has seemingly changed. He's definitely feeling himself, and he's done a string of different interviews where he talks highly of his progress versus others, says guys like Gervonta, Devin Haney, they haven't really stepped up. Ryan Garcia is the only one that fought a top 10 contender in Luke Campbell, in Teofimo's opinion, based on his interviews. And he's also went on to say that things like that didn't make sense to me, and I made videos about it, saying he's the people's champ, but then also saying he'll fight Devin Haney, but at the same time saying he wants $10 million to fight Devin Haney, while also saying that Devin Haney is a fight that he doesn't have to fight because he's undisputed, and Devin Haney hasn't proven himself and he needs to jump in the queue because he's the A-side. Now, it looks like all this A-side talk is coming to a screeching halt. Top Rank founder Bob Arum has done some interviews that is going to force Teofimo. I mean, he could do whatever he wants, but based on what's being said, if you look at the facts, this will force him to pump the brakes. This is a direct quote. Now, in case you guys don't know, a purse bid is an auction. So if there's a mandatory fight, George Kambosos, they said that's Teofimo's mandatory. You're given a certain amount of time to amicably agree to the terms and set the venues and dates and prices and purse salaries and payouts and stuff like that between the two parties. If that cannot be done, it goes to, again, a purse bid, which is an auction, meaning the person who wins the purse bid has to put up the money, you know, that they bid for, like they bid on that particular fight, but they also have the leverage in terms of, you know, they got to make the fight within a certain amount of time, but they kind of share and own the promotional rights to that fight. So you can make, let's say Top Rank won the purse bid, then Top Rank can kind of call the shots. As long as they fight within a certain amount of time, they can pick the venue, they can, you know, start going through the undercard, stuff like that. So you win the auction, but you also get some of those additional perks. Or if the other side wins, then they get to put the fight on. And, you know, they have to put a deposit down and whatnot. So Bob Arum has done recent interviews, and he's saying that Teofimo and George Kambosos, previously he said that the other side and the other fighter, George Kambosos' management team, was asking for outrageous sums of money, so they're going to purse bids. But now he's saying something different to Fight Freaks Unite, right? This is a direct quote. "We haven't been able to reach a deal for whatever reason, and this is not a marquee fight," Bob Arum told Fight Freaks Unite, though declining to discuss the numbers. Quote, "If somebody outbids us, it's fine. I don't care. It's fine. We get a percentage from Lopez depending on the bid. That's the deal. Every promoter has that in their contract, and so be it. The fight will happen. Somebody will buy it at the purse bid." Wow. So Bob Arum just told the whole world that he gonna get paid regardless, even if they have to go through a purse bid, and somebody's gonna buy it, even if it's another person that wins those promotional rights to the particular fight, Teofimo and George Kambosos, and he's not tripping either way. again, we haven't been able to reach a deal for whatever reason. And I think that reason is Teofimo, which I'll talk about more in this video. And he says, remember, listen to what people say. Bob Arum says, and this is not a marquee fight. So he's saying this ain't, big enough. It's not that big of a fight. It's just Teofimo's mandatory. And we haven't been able to reach a deal, so let it go to auction. Let it go to purse bid. If somebody outbids us, it's fine. That's literally what he said. So he said he ain't tripping either way. It says the impasse is not because Lopez promoter Top Rank and Kambosos promoter Lou DiBella have been unable to work out the money. Both promoters believe they could work it out quickly. The issue is a disagreement between Top Rank and Lopez over his purse. Uh-oh. The issue is not between promoter Top Rank and Kambosos promoter Lou DiBella, and it's not because they have been unable to work out the money. Both promoters believe they could work it out quickly. The issue is a disagreement between Top Rank and Teofimo Lopez over his purse. Wow. How quickly they fall. So Teofimo, let's recap here. Teofimo Lopez has been telling everybody who would listen and screaming at the top of mountaintops that he is the A-side. He said he's the A-side over guys like Devin Haney. He is the A-side over guys like Gervonta Davis, who just sold within about $1 million of what Canelo sold in Texas at the end of last year. He said he's the A-side over Ryan Garcia, who just signed a deal with Gatorade. But you're now hearing Bob Arum say he does not care if Teofimo's next fight goes to an auction, aka the purse bid. You are hearing this article that says the impasse is not because the two promoters, DiBella and Bob Arum. The issue is a disagreement between Top Rank and Teofimo Lopez over his purse. So, man, it's getting real old. Ego Stradamus strikes again. Teofimo is quickly becoming a Top Rank headache. That's what it looks like to me. But one thing I predicted is Teofimo, when he beat Lomachenko, he kind of got on his high horse and he started saying a bunch of demands and I'll never rematch Loma. Loma said he wants the rematch, but Teofimo said, nah. Devin Haney's a good fight, but Teofimo says we want 10 million, even though Devin Haney, quote unquote, hasn't done anything and he's the email champ. Teofimo said he's the A-side over all lightweights, including Gervonta Davis, which he can't outsell, which he hasn't made more money than. These are things that need to be considered and factored in when we're talking about who is A-side, because the A-side is pretty much a popularity contest, attributes, milestones and accolades and things like that. And now Bob Arum is willing to risk going to a purse bid, and he just told you he doesn't care if he gets outbid. So he doesn't care if he loses the purse bid because he says he's getting some of Teofimo Lopez's money. Now, since Teofimo believes he is the A-side, let me ask you this. When have you ever heard an A-side and an A-side's promoter in boxing happily going along with the fight possibly landing in the hands of the ops or somebody else and not caring if it goes to a purse bid? When does this happen? Like, when has Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe say, okay, let's say the Robert Guerrero fight, that was a mandatory for Floyd, saying, oh, we don't care, let Eddie Hearn or somebody pick up the fight. We don't care if it goes to purse bid. No, he's going to try to work it out with Robert Guerrero's team, see what works, fulfill the mandatory, and just get a working deal. Bob Arum just told you he doesn't care if they can't reach a compromise beforehand because it'll go to purse bid and he'll still get a cut. He said every promoter has that in the contract. So he's going to get a cut of so-and-so's money, Teofimo's money regardless. This just doesn't sound like A-side stuff, people. You guys can, say whatever you want, but doesn't sound like A-side. Like, can you picture Golden Boy saying we don't care who buys Ryan Garcia's next fight? We'll get paid regardless. Of course, they want to have control and handle Ryan Garcia's career. And same thing with Mayweather Promotions for Gervonta Davis. But you have Teofimo's own promoter who sounds very cavalier and very nonchalant about the whole issue. Like, he don't care if it goes to a purse bid. Very telling. This kind of shoots holes in Teofimo's theory about being the A side. The other issue is, if you're the A side, why is there a disagreement between Top Rank and Teofimo over the purse? You have to keep in mind, Teofimo, as soon as he beat Lomachenko, he went to his social media and he started saying that he's a $5 million, $8 million fighter, or his minimum was $5 million or better each time out. He was saying stuff like he's gonna fight Camboso and get $8 to $10 million. Now, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but what I believe is happening is Bob Arum is kind of washing his hands. Like, I'm not saying he's not working with Teofimo anymore, but I think Bob Arum is annoyed with Teofimo's antics and behavior. And he knows that Teofimo is, quote unquote, big-headed now since the Lomachenko win. And they've kind of created a monster. They fed him Lomachenko. He beat Lomachenko. And now his expectations aren't really in line with what Bob Arum's probably willing to output. You know, Keith Thurman just said recently that he felt that Bob Arum was cheap. And, you know, other people maybe even agree with that. So all in all, Teofimo demanding $5 to $10 million for fights and saying he's not getting less than $5 million. You don't know in a pandemic how that coincides with whatever Bob Arum's trying to do, because Bob Arum has successfully navigated in this business for quite some time. So he feels he knows numbers, and he just said in the first quote that I read that this is not a marquee fight. So Teofimo, if he's demanding this type of money, I can see why there's an impasse and a disagreement, and it's going to go to a purse bid. And that's probably going to be worse, because now Bob Arum he don't even have to bid high. He like, if it's an auction, he can allow someone to outbid him, and Teofimo will either have to vacate his belt, or he's gonna have to fight for whatever that auction purse bid is. So Teofimo could be in for a rude awakening. He said he's getting $5 million minimums from here on out, but what if the winning purse bid is $1.2 million? That means you as a champion are entitled to the lion's share. And I don't know all the splits. I think it's maybe 75-25, 70-30. So you get 70% of that, and then the rest goes to Camboso, and then that means you have to fight for that. So what happened to the $5 million you were barking about? You know, this is all not A-side behavior. This is not how the business works. And I think Teofimo will learn that shortly. But we should get some more information. They usually declare who wins the purse bid and by how much they want it. So we'll see how it plays out. But this could get ugly. You know, I definitely don't see somebody bidding to a point so high where Teofimo is going to get the $5 million minimum, and that could be what Bob Arum wants. But that's just my thoughts. I'm not the smartest brother in the world. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video's Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.